In this week's parsha, we face one of the most controversial stories in the Torah, when Moshe strikes the rock. Most people feel empathy for Moshe. Why would God do something to such a good leader who took the Israelites out of Egypt and brought them into a strong nation united under God's rule? He took them through many hardships and had to handle Israel betraying God many times, and he had to beg God to not leave his chosen nation for another. Why did God punish such a great leader, who is considered the best leader Israel has ever had, just because he hit a rock for water instead of speaking to it? Most people are very divided on this matter. Some think what God did was outrageous, and some believe what he did was justified. To fully understand who is right or wrong, we need to get into Moshe's head to see what he was thinking. If you look into the Torah, Moshe is one of, if not the closest a man has ever been to God. When Moshe went to the rock, God told him to speak to the rock, and a river of water will flow out. And Moshe was tired of having Israel annoying him and complaining about all the things they hated: the manna, the water, the meat, the food, and the list goes on. Moshe was on the end of his fuse. He was tired of Israel pestering him with grueling complaints that would only enrage God and make Moshe have to calm him down and beg for his mercy. In a sense, Moshe was the bridge between man and God. He would have to play a peacemaker between the sides all the time. But when he struck the rock, he essentially closed the bridge, taking God away from the people. But I do not think that was the real reason. I believe the real reason God wanted Moshe to not go into the land was that he didn't want the people to cling to the past so they could proceed to the future. God had to close an old chapter to open a new one, leaving Moshe behind. What we can learn from this parsha is that to move forward, sometimes you have to close an old chapter, whether it's a job holding you back to start a business or a person you do not connect with anymore. Although it might be sad to close an old chapter and leave our old life behind, we should look forward and not back, and that will allow us to live our lives to the fullest. Shabbat Shalom.